Communicating with deaf and hard of hearing people. The first time you communicate with a deaf or hard of hearing person, it may feel scary, but you must try. Deaf people may also feel anxious about communicating with someone who isn't deaf aware. We have many tips on what you can do to help the deaf person relax. One, make sure we are looking at you before you start to communicate with us. If you start before we look, we may miss information which can make a conversation very confusing. So how can you make sure you can get our attention? A gentle tap on the shoulder. You can wave. If we're sat at a table, knock on it and we'll feel the vibration. You can also flick the lights on and off. It may seem a bit rude, but don't worry, it's very normal for us. 2. It's best to smile and be welcoming. Deaf and hard of hearing people can be nervous when they see people's facial expressions. If you're friendly and smile, this can help us to feel relaxed. 3. It's best practice to directly ask us how we prefer to communicate. Many people assume that all deaf people communicate in the same way. People who wear hearing aids won't necessarily want you to speak louder or slowly because it can make it more difficult to understand. Not every deaf person uses sign language. Not all deaf people know how to lip read. We may prefer texting, using an interpreter, or to communicate verbally. Asking us directly about our preferred method of communication ensures a much smoother conversation. 4. It's usually better to text us, not call. Texting is much more accessible. Emails and writing notes also work well. Video calling can sometimes be good if we use sign language or lip reading. Just remember to keep your face visible. 5. Be prepared to repeat or change your wording if necessary. It's very normal for us to ask you to repeat yourselves. First, let us know the context of the conversation. And if you've repeated yourself a few times, try using different words or gestures. We understand that it can be frustrating, but please be patient with us. 6. Keep your face visible. During COVID, hearing people were surprised at how much masks affected their day-to-day conversations. They realised just how much they relied on lip reading and facial expressions to understand context. So here's how you can help people who lip read. When talking, avoid eating, chewing, or smoking at the same time. If you can, move scarves and long hair away from your face. Try not to cover your mouth with your hand. Make sure you're looking at us when you're talking and try to be under good lighting. 7. Try learning British Sign Language, also known as BSL. BSL is a wonderful, visual, and fun language which helps you to communicate better with the deaf community. You probably know more signs and gestures than you realise. For example, baby, car, and house. BID services run BSL courses level 1 to 3. 8. Don't give up. Hearing loss can make conversations very difficult, which can lead us to feeling isolated. Don't say things like, "It doesn't matter," or "tell you later." We want to be included in conversations just like everyone else. Don't be embarrassed to try new gestures or facial expressions. We appreciate you trying. If you have more ideas on how to communicate with deaf or hard of hearing people, let us know. Take care. Bye.